aircraft completely broke due to the ice. So even on ground, the aircraft were not really happy with that. So at this point, you have also in charge to be sure that you don't send your crews in a very winter storm, something like that, because at some point it's way more dangerous to experience icing on the aircraft than maybe to have a real missile that the aircraft can handle. So there was a lot of things to take into account to be sure that you don't put your crew in danger on this part, on the winter, on the weather part, but also, of course, you have to manage the fatigue of the aircraft, of the crews, because as I said, the pressurization was really poor at this altitude. So the fatigue is real when you are spanning more than 6 hours at almost 3,000 meters of altitude. Quite tired at the end, especially with the extra weight. So you have to actually manage the rhythm of your cruise, and that's something that sometimes they don't see actually, or they don't realize. So you have this position of, okay, there's a risk due to threats, but you can also put them in danger if you're not taking care about all the environment. So this part was really quite interesting. And the second part was that due to this extreme winter, all the roads to the forward on bases were completely blocked due to the ice and the snow in Afghanistan. So all the logistic convoy were not able to reach the forward on bases. So one capability that we used to do only for, I would say, to maintain the skill, which was the high altitude drop, low opening, which is really French-specific procedures. We used to do it just for maintaining the skill of the crews. At this moment, it was really needed because actually you can't land on those forward on bases because they are very small. You know, it's like a little compound, so no runway, nothing, and you can't actually just. It was not the French way to do that. The French concept. You can't just drop things very low level because you are low in some valleys. So we don't have the power to extract easily from any threat. So the way we were doing that was to arrive by night 8,000 meters. You open the aircraft, so everybody has to be under oxygen because at that time, at this altitude, it's the Everest. Basically, you are at the top and on top of the Everest, totally in the dark. The aircraft is totally dark also because, of course, you don't want to be shot. You're a little bit weight because you're a little bit too low for the maximum range of missiles. So everybody's in the dark. Everybody is under oxygen because there's no pressurization at this moment, and you're using some very precise weather models in order to have all the winds from the position you want to drop to the forward on base. And with those calculations, you fix one point to drop, and actually the drop goes down from 8,000 meters to 150 meters, pure drop. And at 150 meters, the parachutes pop up, open, and then the pallets just arrive on ground. We had some waivers to actually balance once again safety and operational need. So we were almost authorized to go very close from the forward base. So there was a risk, of course, in case of deviation of the drop may fall directly in the fob. But we are lucky it didn't happen. But we had to almost drop something like one mission per week, and in those 2 months we dropped something like a quarter of the total weight that has been dropped by France from the beginning of the Afghanistan mission. So it was really crazy at that time because there was a real need. We had some reports of the forward on bases having to actually take the fuel from the tanks, the vehicle tanks, in order to put them in the heaters at this level of need. So of course, when you have this operational pressure. That's really, really interesting to actually live that with your crews, because everybody's involved in the mission. Everybody wants to do the best. The mechanics also did a great job to actually maintain the aircraft to be able to keep this rhythm. And of course, it was always at night, so it was a swift a switch from the way the detachment was living, because the mission was actually taking off in around 11 and coming back 4 in the morning. So then after the reports, things like that. So it was really, really impressive to do this mission. And of course, due to the oxygen, you have a doctor on board. You have the drop team. So it's even bigger crew at this moment, and it's really, really impressive to actually be able to conduct all of them towards the goal of the mission. And it was really, really satisfying at the end to know that, you know, when you have the report from the DOP, okay, the pallets are on the ground, everything is not broken, I would say. So they have food, they have fuel, they can still maintain their duty for 1 more week, 2 more weeks. Really satisfying.
Very dangerous. An added layer of danger there.
Sure, but at some point, you know, all the military aspect of that is actually you're always managing the risk. You know, it's always you don't take a risk for glory or for whatever. There's a way in front of risk, which is signed by an authority. In face of a risk, you have an operational benefit, and the operational benefit has always to be higher than the risk.